Hey everybody, what's up? Tim with today's SE. Hope wherever you're at, you are doing awesome. Thanks so much for watching. Title for today's clip is Re-Hijack Your Thinking. I want to share with you an incident that happened to me a couple weeks ago where I got a great lesson in not only the need for positive self-talk, but the need to formulate and create an ongoing dialogue where you absolutely don't relent on it and you just stay with that intentional positive thinking to push you through whatever it is that's in front of you. Whenever we as humans step into areas of uncertainty or areas that we're not familiar with, whether it's an opportunity or a challenge, and we see that we're going into an area we've never experienced before, we really struggle with that. And many times the way that we try to overcome that is we try to create certainty where none exists. And what that looks like is we're moving into the situation that we're not familiar with. So our brain is going to try to create structure in lieu of structure not being there. And we're going to make assumptions and insinuations and a lot of guesswork around what we think is going to happen and how we think we're going to perform or show up in those situations that oftentimes aren't true and are just not based in fact whatsoever. And as a matter of fact, because our brain is wired to think negatively, many times those things are going to be negative, and we literally self-sabotage ourselves and blow up the very thing that we're trying to go after or overcome. So my situation involved running. Now, as you know, I'm no great runner, but I've been making a lot of progress in the last 6 months where I've gotten really pretty okay. And a short time ago, I set out on a run that was going to be further and faster than I'd ever done before. And I remember I felt great. I was running about 80%, and I got to mile 3 and felt great, and mile 4 and felt great, mile 5, mile 6. Right after mile 6, something interesting happened. I started to get these little tinges of thoughts that said, who do you think you are trying to run this fast? You're not that good a runner. You can't do this. Your ankles won't hold up. Your knees won't hold up. You shouldn't even be here. Why don't you quit now and just take it easy? You know how hard it's going to be in about half an hour? You're going to just be begging for this to be done. You're never going to make it. And the thoughts increased and increased and increased. Now, typically when I'm in a run, if something like that pops up, I can usually hit it with a 1 or 2 minute, barrage of positive thinking and it subsides. But here, I found that that wasn't good enough. And I literally needed to take ownership of my thoughts and maintain an intentional, ongoing dialogue that supported me in the direction that I wanted to go. Short spurts didn't do it, right? These negative thoughts tried to hijack my thinking. I needed to now create a positive thought stream that would override the negative. So I started with intention to think, I've got this, no problem. This is easy. I'm feeling great. I'm going to make it. And I started to just continue to barrage that for the remainder of the run, even to the point where I turned it into a mantra. I feel great. I look great. I got this. No problem. No worries. I feel great. I look great. I got this. No problem. No worries. And I was saying that out loud over and over and over again. Normally on a run, I give myself headspace to think about different things. Not this time. I found that, because I was in an area of so much uncertainty and pushing myself beyond where I've ever gone before, I needed to continue to say that over and over again and literally take my mind, repossess it, re-hijack the thoughts that these negative thoughts were trying to hijack, and create that positive dialogue that would help me push through. When I did that, the negative voices disappeared and they drowned out. I was able to crush the run, which felt fantastic. The point is, if I would have yielded to those thoughts, or if I only would have hit them sporadically, eventually they would have overwhelmed me. So anytime you're moving into uncertainty, and you're moving into great levels of uncertainty, whether it's a challenge or whether it's an opportunity, and those negative thoughts start to creep up, what I've learned is that just a couple spurts of positivity might not be enough to get you through. You might need to literally create this positive thought radio station in your mind that's broadcasting the entire time you're engaged in whatever the activity is, and allow that to fill in that uncertainty gap, because now your assumptions are positive, you start to believe in yourself, you start to trust yourself, and that programs you for success. It sets you up, it predispositions you to be able to fulfill and accomplish and complete and overcome whatever it is that's in front of you. Otherwise, those gaps will add up, and if you let them add up too much, you'll start to believe those negative thoughts, and you'll yield to them, and then you're done, and then you're finished. So in some cases, the positive dialogue needs to be constant and ongoing and even spoken out loud. And if you do that, you are setting yourself up for optimal success. So that's a lesson I've learned. I'm going to continue to apply, that I literally, in those tough situations, need to turn everything else off, create this positive radio station in my brain that's playing nonstop, rehearse those thoughts, feed them over and over again, shut the door to everything else, let those drown out the negative, and allow that to create the bridge that takes me across uncertainty and gets me to where I want to go. I would encourage you to do the same. Create that positive dialogue, continue to feed on it until whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're faced with, has subsided and gone away. The short bursts won't do it, but the long-term, ongoing dialogue, ongoing messages will crush whatever you're facing. And you'll find yourself soaring into a whole new level that you didn't even think possible. So Tim from the LV, wishing you an awesome day. Thanks for watching again. I'll talk to you soon.